Hello again, cinnamon buns. So when I started making my list of NaNoWriMo hacks and tips and tricks that I wanted to share with you, it actually got kinda long. So here's another video on them. A whole other video for you, from me. So without further ado, here are even more tips for NaNoWriMo and fast drafting. Number 1 is create a writing ritual or routine. So I got this from Kristen Kiefer's #WriteBoss course, which I totally recommend, by the way. And in it she recommends making 2 lists. One of the things that motivate you, encourage you, inspire you to write, and one of the things which distract you or discourage you or get in the way of your writing. And then you pick between 3 and 5 items from these lists, a couple of ways that you can motivate and inspire yourself, and a couple of ways you can reduce distraction and discouragement. And then you put them into a logical order, and that is your writing routine. You just do these things before you start writing, and it's a good way to build momentum and put yourself in a good zone. And as soon as you start trying to do this writing ritual, you'll find out what works and what doesn't. I found that the part where I put on ambient noise and some low music is really helpful. There's other parts which I find actually kind of just slow me down and I can't really be bothered, but this is a good place to start. I would say though, don't let yourself only write when you've got time to do your whole writing ritual. Write whenever you can and don't let that hold you back, but when you do have the time, a writing ritual can be a really good way to ease yourself into it. Tip number 2 is to hold yourself accountable by posting your daily word count somewhere. You could do it on Twitter, you could do like a daily vlog like I've been doing and will be doing during NaNoWriMo. You could take a screenshot of your word count graph and make it your Facebook profile cover, but just something to show people what you've done and to show people when you haven't done stuff, because that is the important part. If you put your successes and failures out there, then you'll be a bit more motivated not to let people down who may be watching you. Tip number 3 is to leave breadcrumbs for yourself. Whether you have an outline or not, and I strongly recommend you do, you've probably realised that by now, but even if you don't, leave a few sentences for yourself about what has to happen next in the place where you write. So if you write in Scrivener, you can do it in the synopsis section or the notes section, or you can just do it straight into the document for that scene, or straight into your manuscript file. This is nothing fancy, it's just a couple of bullet points about what is going to happen next and the order in which it's going to happen. But this is a really good way to get yourself back into the story next time you start writing much more quickly. Both Scott Odell and Chuck Wendig both recommend this. And then as you actually write those parts for the bullet points, you can just delete them. Tip number 4 is that if you have scenes which you don't know how you want them to go, leave multiple possibilities in your outline. Maybe you're quite an anti-outline person, or you find that it feels constricting to you. Maybe you love outlining and planning, but you've got just a couple of scenes that are just being really annoying and you don't know how they need to end or what needs to happen. You can leave it open-ended in your outline. You can list a couple of possibilities of different ways it could go, and then you can decide when you actually start writing the scene. That's totally allowed. Give yourself a couple of options and let future you decide where the chips will fall. Tip number 5 is a way to catch up in an emergency if you're really behind. This is another tip from a blog post, so that will be cited down below. Thank you, blog poster, writer, for this useful advice. Basically the idea is if you're really behind, for every hour you're awake, you're responsible for writing 500 words. I know, it sounds kind of crazy, but it actually makes sense. So for the first however long it takes you of an hour, you have to write 500 words, and once you've hit 500, you have the rest of the hour to do whatever else you need to do during that day. You know, walk the dog, experience your life, cook dinner, go to work. Maybe that doesn't work so much. With whatever time you have, that is a good way to organise it if you have such time and you want to catch up, especially on the weekend maybe. Tip number 6 is to post a do not disturb sign on your social media. Now if I have time, I'm going to make one of these that we can all share and use together, and I'm going to make it cute and it'll be great. And if I don't have time, then maybe you should just write a text post and not be so fucking lazy. The idea is to warn your friends and family who maybe aren't particularly familiar with NaNoWriMo that you're going to be doing it this month, and shit's gonna get cray. So just post a quick FYI, I'm gonna be really busy. If you could refrain from distracting me and posting stupid things on my wall, which I then am obligated to reply to, that would be great. And also maybe ask for a little bit of patience and call in any favours that you might have outstanding to help you make the most of your November writing. So there we go, that's all my tips for today. I hope you find some of them useful. I would love to hear if you guys have any streamlining tips for me, for the rest of us. Put them in the comments below, because that's super helpful for everyone. And yeah, oh my god, I can't believe this is going to be my last video for Preptober altogether. Not entirely sure what's going to happen during NaNoWriMo when it comes to my channel and things. All of the Preptober stuff is obviously still going to be up there, so y'all can still use it forever, basically, but I don't have any plans to actually make things during NaNoWriMo because I'm gonna be super fucking busy actually doing NaNoWriMo. Likes are always appreciated. As always, I'm Rachael Stephen, novelist, YouTuber, woodland hell bitch. And if you're not a subscriber already, I don't want to pressure you. I don't want you to feel like you have to subscribe if you didn't particularly enjoy our interaction today, but if you did subscribe, that would be cool and nice of you. Okay guys, goodbye. Get back to noveling. Do good. Write much. Happy November, October, Halloween, Preptober, NaNoWriMo. And if you're not, why should you subscribe for maybe you shouldn't. I'm gonna be doing this. And if you're not subscribed already, why don't you? Because I've got a pumpkin over there. Yeah, use that one, Rachel. That went well. This year, this century. Okay, let's just end that sentence there. Something, something. What am I doing with my